All right, here are 5 habits that save me 20 plus hours per week. If you don't know me, I'm Miles, and I graduated college back in 2020. And ever since then, life has really just been flying by. It seems like the demands of everyday life have continued to compound. And, my time has just been divided by loads of different things. And it's not like I've got anything too crazy going on. I think over the past 4 years, my time has been split between just these things pretty much. My 9 to 5 job, trying to get 8 hours of sleep a night, get some exercise, pursuing some side hustles, spending time with my friends, family, girlfriend, watching YouTube videos, now making YouTube videos. I used to play some video games, watch TV, cook, random errands, traveling, self-education, the occasional time to myself. You get the idea. And since I started this, adult life after school, I've been on what feels like an infinite quest to make time for the things that are important to me. So over the past 4 years, I've learned a lot. I've gone from the recent college graduate who wasn't really sure what he was going to do with his life. He had been following what society told him to do for his entire life. Go to school, get good grades, go to college, get the job. And he did all that, and that didn't really lead him anywhere. And so now I've really started to take control of my life, and things have been amazing. I'm still far away from my destination, but honestly, I'm starting to see some progress, and life is good. It's probably been the best that it's ever been. I enjoy my routine. I enjoy my daily life, everything that I've got going on, and I'm seeing progress in other areas too. I started a YouTube channel last year, almost at 20,000 subscribers. I've been pursuing stuff with business, learning that, and I'm starting to make some money from my business and progress slowly towards my overall goals of being able to quit my 9 to 5 job and do my own thing that I'm actually passionate about and actually brings me fulfillment in life. And along this journey, I've learned a lot about time management, productivity. I've read books, listened to podcasts, probably watched hundreds or thousands of YouTube videos, trying to figure out this whole time management thing. And most importantly, I've tested and implemented a bunch of these things for myself. I've tried dozens of tactics, systems, mindsets, routines, and added those into my own life to figure out what actually makes a difference and is worth their time, or what's just kind of another clickbait way to, overcomplicate our lives. So today I'll save you the thousands of hours that I've spent struggling trying to figure out this whole time management thing and give you 5 of the most impactful habits that save me at least 20 plus hours per week. And these 5 habits have not only made a real positive impact on my quality of life, but have allowed me to make time for the things that are really important to me, like spending time with my friends, family, taking care of my health, uploading consistently to my YouTube channel, and building my business. So I'll run through these 5 habits and share my experiences with each, and also give you some practical steps to actually implement them into your life, because, I hate those videos where it's like they give you a bunch of kind of ideas and stuff, but don't really help you take the steps to actually start doing those things. Because that's what really matters when you're watching these videos or consuming any sort of educational content, is if you can actually implement it into your life. So that's a big priority of me with these videos. And just a quick disclaimer before we get started, these habits that I'm going to tell you about aren't some kind of magic pill solution. It's not going to be like use the Pomodoro timer technique or install this app or extension on your phone. If you're looking for a quick, easy fix that will solve all of your time management issues, spoiler alert, that doesn't really exist. But what I will give you are some serious lifestyle changes that will lead to some serious results in your life. If life and things aren't going the way that you want them to, and you have a big picture dream that you're trying to get to, and you want these big picture results, you're going to need to make some big changes to your current life. And that's just kind of how it is, and that's how I've found things to be. If you've found some secret solution that takes zero effort and magically gets you to whatever result or goal you're working towards in life, definitely let me know in the comments, because I will jump on that right away. All right, so let's dive into it. The first one is quality over quantity. Now, when it comes to this whole time management thing, we often obsess over the amount of time that we spend on something. We assume that, if we have more time for a particular activity, it will lead to better results. And I remember when I first began pursuing my first sort of business venture side hustle of becoming a music producer, I felt like my success was really limited to the amount of time that I had during the day to spend on that. I would look at other people who could afford to work on their music production full time, and I was jealous, thinking that was what's holding me back. They get to spend 8 hours a day working on their stuff. I only have a handful of hours, before or after work. That's why I'm not successful. I found that whether it's working on your YouTube channel, business, practicing an instrument, hanging out with friends, spending time with your partner. Quality usually always wins, and the quality of time that you spend is almost always more important than the quantity of time that you spend on something. And now, I do definitely think that you need quantity to a certain extent. Things will inevitably take time. You obviously need to dedicate a solid amount of time to do something to get results. But at least for me, and probably you too, if you're watching this video, there's more room to improve on the quality side of things. All right, so we get that we might need to be more conscious of the quality of the time that we spend on various things in our life. But what does this actually mean? What does high quality time actually look like? And it really depends on the context, of course, but I generally view high quality time as being higher leverage and leads to greater progress towards the objective of that activity per unit of time that we spend. Now, that's an overly mathematical way of putting it, and that probably didn't really make that much sense. But here's a few real world examples from my life that I think will help this whole concept click, and you can figure out how to apply it to your own life. All right, working on my YouTube channel, the objective here for me would be to reach more high quality viewers. Quality matters here too with viewers. Not all viewers are created equal. It's a topic for another video. And help solve their problems with my videos. Now, what's a low quality way I could spend my time when working on my YouTube channel? It could be 1 hour spent mindlessly mindlessly clicking through YouTube analytics, getting sad when I see that I've gotten fewer views this week than last week. It could also be 1 hour spent changing all the keywords and descriptions of my videos because I've heard that search engine optimization is important, but I've only uploaded 3 videos to my channel. High quality example would be 1 hour spent recording a new YouTube video, 1 hour spent scripting a new YouTube video, 1 hour spent brainstorming new YouTube video ideas, or 1 hour spent learning how to make better YouTube videos. Here's another example. This one might be a little bit controversial. Spending time with friends, objective, enjoy each other's company, build and maintain a strong friendship. Examples of low quality time, again, speaking from experience, sitting in our individual rooms, shouting at each other while playing Call of Duty, and occasionally having surface level conversations in between games. Going out every weekend and replicating the same experience of poisoning ourselves with alcohol, having a few laughs, and feeling like shit for the next 24 hours. Those might be fun to some people at some points in our life, but is that really the best way to spend time with friends? I don't know. We'll see. High quality time. Some examples that I like are meeting up at the gym for a fun group workout on the weekend, followed by a high protein post-workout meal. Also, recently, this is something I did a couple months ago, taking a weekend trip out of town full of snowboarding, fun bonding activities, and deep conversations. So you can see that these are two completely different contexts, but the same kind of mindset of quality over quantity can still apply. In the context of working on a side hustle business YouTube channel, it's easy to get caught up in kind of the random tasks that keep you busy but don't actually move the needle forward. And I've definitely found my brain sort of playing tricks on me, convincing me that I needed to do something like color coding my Notion page or reorganizing my files, and convincing me that that's productive when in reality I'm just avoiding the more important, more impactful, usually more difficult task. In the context of spending time with friends, back when I didn't have a clear direction in life or goals that I wanted to dedicate my time to, things were usually fine. And despite being more of an introvert, I honestly looked for opportunities to just spend time with friends, even if that time was fairly low quality. But ever since I found my purpose, gotten into entrepreneurship, business, YouTube, I've felt more pressured to hang out with people, even if I didn't really feel up for it. And it's something that I've honestly kind of struggled with, and I've had friends who have started to question whether I still like them or whether we're still friends if I don't make the time to see them every single weekend, which sounds kind of ridiculous when you think about it. But I have found that at least, for the friends worth keeping, all it takes is one high quality interaction or hangout every once in a while to not only enjoy each other's company and maintain the friendship, but to actually make the friendship stronger. So I haven't been seeing my friends nearly as often as I would, a couple years ago, but I feel like my friendship with them is just as strong, if not better than it was back when we would hop on video games and play with each other every couple of days. So action steps for this first section. Look at the blocks of time you spend on various areas of your life and ask yourself, okay, what is the big picture objective of this time? And what is the most impactful way that I could spend this time to progress towards that objective? schedule high priority, deep work tasks earlier in the day. This goes more for, the business side of things, YouTube, that sort of stuff. Schedule those high priority tasks first thing in the day, when you have more energy, and schedule low priority, shallow work tasks for later in the day, when you get tired. And it's okay because those shallow work tasks might not end up getting done. If things come up in the evening, the late afternoon, that's okay, because with this system, you'll still be able to spend time on the high quality things that make the most difference. All right, let's move on to the next habit, and that is don't make the same decision twice. What do I mean by that? Well, according to various studies, it's estimated that the average American adult makes 35,000 decisions a day, every single day. That includes, what we eat, what we'll wear, what tasks we'll complete that day, what exercises we'll do at the gym, etc. And this means that is basically like 2,000 decisions per hour. So in just the first hour of the day, our brain will have made already 2,000 decisions. Now, I'm guessing a lot of these are micro decisions, things that kind of happen subconsciously. But I do think a large portion of these are things that we actually have to consciously think about and use up mental energy to make these decisions. So how I like to think of this is imagine that we start the day with our brain power, our kind of cognitive freshness, mental energy starts with a battery at 100%. And I know realistically it might feel more like 70 or 80% on most days, but let's imagine for the sake of this that we got a great night's sleep and we're starting the day at 100%. And then every single one of our decisions throughout the day, as we decide various things, what to wear, what to eat, what to work on, it starts to drain this battery, drain some of our mental energy. And so my typical day a few years ago went something like this. Alarm goes off. Do I get up or should I snooze? Minus 5% battery. What should I wear? Where's that other sock? Minus 5% battery. I check my phone messages. What should I reply? Minus 5% battery. I go to the kitchen. What should I eat for breakfast? Minus 5% battery. Sit down at the desk. What should I work on today? Minus 10% battery. So you can see we might wake up at 6 a.m. with full percent battery, 100% battery like this, make some decisions throughout the day. But depending on, what those decisions are, when we make them, by 7 a.m. we might already be at like 50% battery. That's probably what I was at, already drained by mid-morning. All right, so how does this affect the actual time that we have? It sounds maybe more like an energy problem at this point, but I'll explain. And it's really because of decision fatigue, which here's a definition: the deteriorating quality of decisions made by an individual after a long session of decision making. As people make decisions throughout the day, their ability to make sound judgments can become depleted. This can lead to mental exhaustion, decreased self-control, and a tendency to make impulsive or irrational choices. So basically, as we continue to make decisions throughout the day, we gradually get this decision fatigue and the quality of our decisions starts to get a little worse. You can imagine that when our brain is at 100% decision or 100% battery, we're feeling great. We'll probably make the most optimal rational decisions that best serve us and our goals. Whereas if we get down to 50, 40, 30% battery, we're more likely to make poor decisions or choose options that require the least amount of effort. We stop thinking about the first rule from this video of quality over quantity, and we'll probably end up just doing whatever feels easiest or whatever we feel like doing in that moment. So yeah. And then on top of that, if we can avoid making all these extra decisions, it will simply also save us the time that we wasted deciding. These common decisions like what to eat, what to wear, what time to wake up, etc., are decisions that we've made thousands of times in our life. So, of course, all those small decisions, even if they take, a few seconds at a time, repeated every single day for a whole life, that's a lot of time wasted. And we act like, although we've made these decisions thousands of times, I've probably, decided what to eat probably like 10,000 times in my life at this point. A lot of people act like it's their very first time making that decision every time it comes up. That's the classic kind of stereotypical thing, especially in romantic relationships, people trying to figure out what to get for dinner. It's like this whole big thing when it's eating dinner, for the past 25, 30 years. How do you not know how to decide what to eat for dinner? It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So action steps to fix this is really just to systemize your life. And now I really look for opportunities to find things that I can confidently make a permanent part of my lifestyle. And the thought of making a decision once and literally never having to worry about making that decision again, really excites me, and it's kind of fun now. And so here are a few examples of things that I'm trying to implement. And one is to wear the same outfits every single day. And this is kind of a stereotypical thing that you'll see any sort of successful entrepreneurs, billionaires especially doing. So like Steve Jobs here, I've got a picture, wore basically the same fit for a long time. And they do this to not only save the time, like I mentioned, but so that they always feel good with what they're wearing. So it's like you pick an outfit or two that you feel confident in, and you can put it on, and it's just consistent, and you feel good, and that'll lead to other benefits, confidence in other areas of your life, and you don't have to think about it and then put on some sort of outfit and like, I don't really like how this shirt fits or how this color looks on me, and you just kind of go with it already. It's just all that takes away from your mental energy, and it's really unnecessary and easy to avoid. And so yeah, having 1 to 2 high quality outfits that you feel best in is way better than having a closet full of different clothes that you don't enjoy wearing. So I'm personally in the process of trying to make my wardrobe super minimalist with just like some solid black, white, blue, high quality t-shirts. Lately I'll get my t-shirts from Uniqlo in the past, or recently I've been wearing these like higher quality shirts from Unbound Merino, and it's made from this like special merino wool material that's super soft. It breathes well in the summer, and supposedly you don't even need to really wash it that often because like the wool material is like natural and has these antibacterial properties and stuff that prevent it from smelling. So that also kind of saves time, I guess, on laundry and stuff. You can just put the t-shirt on and not worry about it. And yeah, it means I don't have to have as many clothes as well. So other ones, wake up at the same time every single day. This has been a game changer for me, and something that I didn't really completely dial in, honestly, until the past like few months or so. I would have, my wake up time, my ideal wake up time of like 6 a.m. and I would be pretty good about that for most days out of the week. But inevitably on weekends, or if I'd stay up late, I'd end up sleeping in, occasionally, 7, 8, 9, 10, noon, if it's a really late night. And just that one day of sleeping in on like Saturday or something would kind of throw off my schedule a little bit and make it so Sunday I'm a little off, and then like I've got to recover by Monday. Whereas recently I've dialed it in so it's like 6 a.m. every single morning, and I'll wake up now like 5:59. My brain will turn on. I'll be able to jump instantly out of bed, and it's really nice kind of having that consistency. And this week my goal is to actually shift that wake up time all the way to 5 a.m. and start waking up at 5 a.m. consistently, because I've started to love this early morning time to work on my business and stuff so much. So today I woke up at 5. It's been great. Going to try and stay consistent with that every single day. Next, eat the same meals every day. I'll talk more about this in the next section. Upload YouTube videos at the same day every week. Automate your credit card payments. I have like 13 credit cards right now, and I never miss a single payment. It's a topic for another video on credit cards. Establish a morning routine, a night routine, workout routine, household chore, errand routine. Systematize your life. All right, let's move on to the next one. Before I get into that, just a quick introduction about my channel. Basically, my name is Miles Mochizuki, and on this channel, I make videos where I teach my lessons about various things in my life as I progress on this journey to build my own YouTube channel, business, and escape the 9-to-5 life. So a lot of my lessons will be about things like productivity, self-actualization, time management, goal setting, finding your purpose, developing a powerful mindset, lifestyle optimization. I want to start talking about more business lessons, content creation, that type of stuff. If you're interested in any of that and you want to, see more educational videos like this, learn more of these lessons and save time, not having to struggle and figure them out for yourself, and can just watch one of my videos or similar videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button and you'll get more videos like this recommended to you. All right, next up, simplify your diet. And so as humans, we spend a lot of time eating. And I'm not just talking about, the act of stuffing our faces with food. There's not much we can do about that. And obviously eating itself is essential and doesn't take up that much time. The real time suck comes from everything that happens around the meals. So, it's easily like 3+ hours from your day gone, dozens of hours a week probably. If you consider, everything else you have to do, deciding what to eat, realizing you don't have the right ingredients, then having to go get groceries, having to cook those meals, do the dishes, the energy crash that you feel, all afternoon after eating a big meal for lunch. And so how can we avoid a lot of this wasted time and start simplifying our diet? Well, one thing we can do is eat the same meals every day. And this is something I first heard from Tim Ferriss in his book, The 4-Hour Body, where basically one of the rules of his diet protocol is to eat the same few meals over and over again, especially for breakfast, lunch. You do this already, you're just picking new default meals. So similar to clothing, variety has become a bit of a requirement for us, but variety means more decisions, more time spent preparing meals. And I'm obviously not saying that you can just eat like McDonald's or pizza every single day and that'll help you save a lot of time and you should go do that. This only really works if you're eating nutritious, high quality meals, because then it's fine if you eat them pretty much every single day. So what does this actually look like for me? And this is where things might turn you off a little bit. Don't get scared. Just hear me out. If you trust what I've said so far in this video and you like it, keep listening. And what I've been doing is an animal-based or carnivore diet. And what is that exactly? Well, it's exactly how it sounds. It's a diet that's basically based around just animal products: beef, chicken, lamb, fish, eggs, dairy, and no vegetables. And yes, I'm alive. So I would just put a little screenshot here on the left. You can see this is kind of like the animal-based food pyramid. This goes against the traditional food pyramid, which is a whole scam. It's a topic for another video. I could rant about it for hours. But as you can see, most of it is meats from ruminant animals, so beef, lamb, elk, deer. Then some meat from non-ruminants, so chicken, pork, seafood, eggs, organs, good. Some dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt, butter, and occasionally I'll have some fruit, honey as well, especially before workouts. I like doing that. And on the right here, you can see a picture of a typical meal for me. Got a steak, ribeye steak, and some eggs. All right, so this sounds crazy. I know you should have seen my mom's reaction when I first told her what I was doing. But obviously, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to try and convince you to do this diet for health reasons, although I do think it is the best diet for health as well. If you want to learn more about the health side of things and hear an actual doctor speak about it, I highly suggest you go watch this video from Dr. Anthony Chafee about the health side of things. He'll kind of break down why, as humans, we are actually carnivores and why it's actually appropriate for our species to eat mainly just meat and how we've been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. And it's not only until recently that we've started eating other stuff, starchy grains, carbohydrates, processed foods, and that's when modern health problems have started to increase. So what I will do is break down the ways that this diet and simplifying my diet, not necessarily just the carnivore diet, although it's basically the ultimate simplification of diet, has helped me to save time specifically. So here are some of my time savings since switching to the carnivore diet. Big one is just takes a quick grocery shopping in bulk, like once a month. I can just go to Costco. You can see this is my cart here, just a bunch of meat. And because meat can be easily frozen and it's still good, I really don't have to do this all the time. Back when I was using vegetables and getting all this stuff that could spoil really quick, I'd have to go to the grocery store like every single week, and half the stuff would rot in my fridge if I didn't finish it. Now I can just go to Costco, get a bunch of stuff, one big grocery haul, and that's it. That saves easily probably a couple hours per week. And then also minimal prep work. So what I eat mainly these days is, as you can see in this picture, I'll get this big bulk ribeye from Costco. I'll slice it up into steaks. I'll make steaks, ground beef. I'll make some burger patties. We got some fish, chicken here. But really, the prep work is pretty simple. It's like salt on meat or crack eggs into bowl. That's pretty much it. There's no washing, peeling, chopping, mixing, waiting for water to boil or whatever else you usually do when cooking typical meals. And then when it comes to actually cooking, it only takes me 8 minutes to cook a steak. And then I let it rest for a few minutes. And while I'm doing that, I can just clean up the kitchen and stuff. And then I'm ready to eat. And really, usually I'm done within 30 to 40 minutes total. And that's for, prep, cooking, and eating. And most of the time I'll cook a couple steaks. So I have leftovers, and that means that I can be done with my meal in a matter of minutes. And all of this has turned cooking from this kind of annoying hassle that I had to do to a fun sort of mental break for me. I've kind of really grown to love cooking. It's pretty easy, and obviously the food tastes good. I feel good when I eat it, and it's just a great process overall. But the time savings definitely don't stop at just the cooking aspect and the meal prepping aspect of it. There is with the energy aspect as well. So in the past, once I finished eating a meal, especially after lunch, I usually feel this giant energy crash. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's the standard, stereotypical afternoon post-lunch crash where you just feel like you need to take a nap or something. That's usually when people just drink a bunch of coffee and stuff, and that'll screw up their sleep. But since simplifying my diet, I feel basically no dip in energy after my meals. It used to be where if I had something planned for the afternoon, it usually either wouldn't get done or it would take me twice as long to do it. So a lot of time wasted there. And now I can maintain my peak focus, productivity, efficiency throughout pretty much the entire afternoon. And this part is kind of like a hidden time saving, because I might still have the same amount of time to dedicate to something, apart from, saving time on the groceries and stuff. Like still the same amount of time in the afternoon, let's say after lunch, but I'm way sharper and able to get way more done in that same amount of time. So again, this is kind of like an efficiency thing. All right, so let's get into the action steps for this one. I understand that carnivore-based diet might seem like a bit too much for you, and you want to start a little smaller than that. So I've ordered these action steps kind of from like a beginner level to a more advanced level. So level 1 is to list out a few of your favorite healthy meals along with the ingredients you need to cook them, and eat these meals consistently, at least for breakfast and lunch. If you go out for dinner or something, that's okay. And you'll start to memorize exactly what groceries you need to get. Might feel a little boring at first, but after a while, your body will get used to it and you'll start to actually crave those meals. And this will also help prevent decision fatigue. I know this is like a big kind of friction point for a lot of people when they're trying to simplify their diet. It's like, well, I need like all this variety and stuff. First of all, you probably don't eat that much variety right now. And really the reason you want variety is because like you're used to eating variety. So I'm not going to try and explain the science side of it, but I'm pretty sure it's like related to the gut microbiome and stuff. Like if your gut is used to having all these foods and things in there, you're going to get cravings to eat those foods. But if you're only eating like meat and eggs and dairy, maybe some fruit, you're really only going to want to eat those things. So once you push past it, it's pretty easy to maintain. Level 2 is to batch cook meals and maybe a couple times a week, aka meal prep, classic time-saving method. Gets even easier to do when you are doing this carnivore diet because the meals are just way easier to cook. Level 3 is to cut out processed foods and starchy carbohydrates from your diet. This has helped me maintain higher energy levels and mental clarity while also saving time cooking and prep work. Level 4. Try a carnivore or animal-based diet for all the reasons I've stated so far. Cuts down on the cooking time, can buy groceries in bulk. Yeah. Level 5, and this is where I'm not at yet, would be to hire a private chef. This is what I intend to do once my business pops off. All right, so next up we've got selective commitment. I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. But I used to be the type of person who would say yes to pretty much anything, anytime anyone asked me to do something. I'd be like, Miles, would you be down to go do X? Be like, yeah, sure. Miles, are you free this weekend? Yeah, I'm free. Miles, could you do me a favor? Yeah, of course. I got you. Say less. And if I technically had the time to do something with someone or for someone, I would instinctively agree. And especially if it was my friends or family, I'd often feel guilty if I didn't say yes, or at least feel like I had to come up with some super strong excuse to justify why I wasn't going to see them or spend my time with them. And more often than not, this would lead to frustration, stress, regret, and negative feelings associated with the people that I supposedly, had to say yes to. But since then, I've adopted this mindset that I don't have to do anything. I always have a choice. It's my time, my life, and it's up to me how I spend it. And this has saved so much time, especially on the weekends. And it's not only me that it's benefited. It might sound kind of selfish, if I'm, choosing not to spend my time with other people and just doing what I want to do with my time. But I think it benefits everyone, not just me, because now when I do agree to go meet someone or do something, it's because I genuinely want to. I'm super excited to do so, and I'm 100% present, engaged, and enjoy my time with them. Instead of, constantly having these thoughts in the back of my mind, like, oh, well, I could have spent my time doing something else. Oh, I wonder if, I didn't do this, it would have been better, that kind of stuff. And now I'm not saying you should be some sort of antisocial loner, still go out, have fun, meet people, socialize. I think that's important. Even coming from an introvert, I do think that's something important to do. But try to do only what truly excites you, and things in my experience will go a lot better. But all the times where I felt some hesitation and like, I don't really want to do this thing, it doesn't really excite me, and I've told them, no, sorry, like I can't make it this time, I've never regretted it. It's always felt like the better choice. So just some food for thought there. And so now for me, it's either a hell yes or a no. And I think having this confidence to put your foot down has made a huge impact on not just like my time management, but just like my confidence as a whole and feeling in control of myself and my life. And that translates to other things as well. So some action steps to take. Next time someone asks you to do something or invites you out somewhere, ask yourself, is this a hell yes? If not, politely decline, and spend that time doing what you would most like to do in that moment. All right, so next up we've got plan tomorrow today, and this has become an instinctive part of both my productivity system, but just my entire lifestyle as a whole. And that is to basically plan out what I'm going to do the next day, the night before. Now, this might sound kind of obvious, and maybe you think you already do this, you don't need this tip, but I've been surprised to find out from some of my clients and talking to people in my community that not everyone does this, or maybe they think they do it, but they don't really do it in the best way, and it ends up kind of overcomplicating things, and they don't actually execute their plan. So the big issues with not planning tomorrow today is you don't want to let the tomorrow version of you decide what to do, basically. So I do say on my channel a lot, do something today that your future self would thank you for. But in this case, you might not always want to let your future self decide what to do, because you don't really know what your future self is feeling in that moment. So tomorrow morning, you might feel tired, lazy, unmotivated, got a bad night's sleep, something came up at work, they're just not feeling it. And so if you try to plan your day in that moment, in the next morning or whatever, or like just figure out what to do in that moment, you're really subject to however you feel. So if you feel bad, you're probably not going to want to do much. So I like to plan my day the night before, when I'm in a calm, rational headspace. And for me, this is usually around 8 p.m. right before bed. And I go to bed, feeling excited to wake up the next day. And I feel like also, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but when I am thinking about these big goals and plans for the next day, when I'm about to sleep, I feel like it kind of gets cemented into my brain as I sleep. I know there's some legitimacy to that when it comes to learning things. Sleep is a big part of it, when your brain kind of like processes everything and really takes it in. So I feel like I'm having some benefit from that as well. Now, one analogy that I like to use to think of this is the night before, you are the pilot. So you're preparing the plane, setting the course for your trip the next day. Then once you wake up in the morning, you simply become the passenger who's just along the ride and following the path that the pilot set for them the previous day. So once that flight has taken off, it's in the air, and you're flying, you can't adjust course now because you're not the pilot. You're in the back of the plane, in your economy plus seat. And I don't really remember when I followed this system, but I really can't imagine my life and productivity without this. I now wake up with purpose and eagerness, knowing exactly what I'm going to work on that day and getting straight to work. 0 time wasted, 0 decision fatigue. And my process for planning my day is pretty simple. The worst thing you can do is really overcomplicate planning your day. Something that a lot of productivity apps kind of do is really just overcomplicate things. And I dive more in depth into my planning process and my mindset behind everything in other videos. But here, just a quick summary. First, I write out 3 things that I'm grateful for, my main motivation for executing my plan that day. I check my calendar for any sort of time-sensitive events, meetings that I have. Then I write my 5 main priorities for that day in order of importance. Then I write out my entire schedule for the day in 30-minute increments. And I'll also set alarms on my iPhone for key checkpoints throughout the day. And that's literally it. Keep it simple. It should really only take you like 30 minutes. You don't need a fancy app with a $12 a month subscription. You literally do this on a piece of paper. Keep it simple. Now, not saying that necessarily you have to do exactly my system for planning my day. I would encourage you to figure out what works best for you. Everyone's brains works a little different. Everyone's lifestyles, commitments are a little different, so you might need to change things up. I encourage that. But the main thing is to keep it simple and prioritize actually executing your plan over anything else. So don't get caught up, making your, daily planner system or whatever into some super fancy Notion template app set up with emojis, colors, and everything. If you're not actually going to execute the plan, that's silly. Focus on executing. You're better off, just scribbling a couple things on a piece of paper and actually doing them than, having this whole elaborate plan. So action steps for this one: set a consistent time of day when you'll plan tomorrow today. Set a consistent procedure for how you'll plan the day. So maybe lay out some steps, kind of like I did. What are the things you're going to look at? How are you going to determine what to prioritize that day? What time of day are you going to do different things? Set that. And most importantly, if you don't do this already, start today. And if you are interested, you can download my daily planner template completely for free by joining my Miles Ahead online community. It's basically just what I've literally been using. I think I don't have it here right now, but I've got some over there. Here, maybe I'll just go get it to show you. Yeah, I literally use this every day now, and I just have basically everything I said here. And so if you want to access that, you can download it for free by joining my community. I've got a nice printout there and an editable version if you want to make some adjustments to it. And there's also a Notion version because I know some of you like to use Notion. All right, so in summary, so you don't forget kind of the main points we discussed, these are 5 habits that save me at least 20 plus hours per week. First one is prioritizing the quality of time you spend on something over the quantity of time you spend on something. 2, build systems to avoid making the same decisions over and over again. 3, simplify your diet to save on meal prep time and avoid energy crashes. 4, only commit to things that truly excite you. And 5, plan tomorrow today so that when you wake up, you can simply execute. If you want more videos like this, definitely let me know. This is kind of a new style of video for my channel. It's more educational, more like a lecture feel, slides and everything, but I really did kind of enjoy making this. It was more well thought out, I guess. But let me know down in the comments, in the DMs on School. If you don't know what School is, it's a platform where I host my free online community, Miles Ahead. We are about to hit 500 members. So hopefully we've hit it by the time you're watching. If you're not, maybe you can be that 500th member. But basically in this community, we've got a bunch of people who are all into setting goals, productivity, optimizing their time, focus, working towards those goals. We got a lot of people who are trying to become content creators, start a business. Maybe they're students or work 9-to-5 jobs, so they're like real people who actually have to, manage their time with other things in their life. It's a bunch of people like this with similar mindsets, all kind of coming together, interacting. We've got discussion board where people make posts, share their lessons, ask for advice. I'm in here all the time, replying to people's comments, getting to know you guys. And yeah, we also have some courses in here that I've made, some exclusive content that's not on YouTube. This is like a productivity course here where it's got a bunch of different modules. All of these are like 5 to 20 minute long videos of me just talking about different aspects of productivity that have really helped me, and this is completely for free if you join the community. We also recently started community accountability calls every Sunday. And so this is where community members will get together and talk, get to know each other, maybe work on some stuff together, like kind of like a group workout class, but doing like deep focus work on something. They'll also discuss goals for the week, keep each other accountable and stuff like that. So that's been great. Super excited to keep doing those. And yeah, if you haven't already, definitely join the community. It's the top link in the description. Go click that right now. As always, do something today that your future self would thank you for.